Okay, so why is it when people like Tommy Robinson, or Stephen Yaxley Lennon as his real name, Maya Tusi and hundreds if not thousands of other people are said to be controlled by another religion or country, they have to just suck it up and deal with it because police won't take any action on the basis of hate crime, which of course isn't even a crime. But when it comes to Sadiq Khan being told that he's controlled by Islamists, the police are all over it. Yes, I am talking about former Tory MP Lee Anderson, who is currently being investigated by the Metropolitan Police over just that, saying that Khan is controlled by Islamists, which in fairness pretty much appears to be the case, although some of them have turned against him more recently. The Metropolitan Police is currently assessing a report of hate speech against Lee Anderson made by an unknown complainant. So the person who's complained hasn't even got the balls to put their name to their complaint. It was probably Khan himself. Now, had Anderson had said this in Parliament, then he would likely be safe from his action, as MPs have a privilege in there that they can pretty much say what they want without the police being able to do anything about it. But Lee Anderson said his piece to camera on GB News as part of an interview. During the interview on Friday, Lee Anderson said, "I don't actually believe that the Islamists have got control of our country, but what I do believe is they've got control of Khan and they've got control of London and they've got control of Starmer as well." Later adding, "People are just turning up in their thousands and doing anything they want, and they're laughing at our police. This stems with Khan. He's actually given our capital city away to his mates." Now, this is supposed to be a hate crime, or at least is being investigated as one. Now, a hate crime is when a crime is committed against another person because of their characteristics, be it black, Muslim, trans, whatever. All I see is a comment made against a man who has power in the capital city, who is completely destroying it, regardless to the words Islamist being used in there. If Khan was African, gay or a woman and was destroying our capital as bad as he is now with the inundated amounts of Muslims taking over the city, then I'm sure it would still be a relevant statement to make about him. Just because someone is of a particular minority group does not make everything said or done to them discriminatory. Besides, I think there's a lot of truth to that statement, so much so that I'm going to say the same thing. I don't actually believe that the Islamists have got control of our country yet, but I do believe that they've got control of Khan and others, and London. People are turning up in their thousands and doing what they want, and they're laughing at our police and us. This stems with Khan. He's actually given our capital city away to his mates. There. Now, if Lee Anderson is being investigated, then somebody should report me too for my hate crime. My local force is Merseyside, but you can report me to your local force and they'll transfer it to my local force. There is nothing in that statement that is Islamophobic. The Oxford Dictionary, does anyone notice it's not called the English Dictionary anymore, states that Islamophobia refers to the fear of and hostility toward Muslims and Islam that is driven by racism and that leads to exclusionary, discriminatory and violent actions targeting Muslims and those perceived as Muslims. But let's be fair, Islam is not a race, so why racism was put in there under Islamophobia is beyond me. And I don't believe the fear of something should be classed as an offence. Nobody sticks up for the spiders when it comes to arachnophobia, and I don't see anybody squashing Muslims with a fucking slipper because they don't like them. I also don't believe that it is driven by racism. If it was, then those who are against much of the Islamic faith would despise all Muslims, but that doesn't appear to be the case in most situations. Most people are afraid of the extremist Islam supporters, the ones who think it's okay to toss a gay from a rooftop or throw stones at a woman until she's dead simply because she slept with their mate who's got a bigger dick. I also don't see how Lee Anderson's comment could lead to any violence actions against Muslims, because the comment was made about Khan, and the reference made to Islamists having control of London could well be a factual statement. I have seen personally videos myself where Muslim preachers are telling their mosque congregation that they're taking over from the inside. That's direct from Muslim preachers' mouths themselves and not from somebody I've met down the pub. So, is Lee Anderson's comment, and mine now for that matter, actually based on discrimination? Some of you will say yes because you've had the wool pulled over your eyes, and that's fine, I won't blame you for that. Just look at how easy it was to manipulate the majority of the country over lockdowns. But I'm willing to change my mind, unlike the people that say that Lee's comments and mine were Islamophobic. If I can be proved that the words I've personally heard from footage that shows Islamic preachers talking about taking over is actually incorrect, downright false, or just my imagination, then I will happily change my mind. However, this video was meant to be about the police investigating whether Lee Anderson's comments were a hate crime, so I will finish by saying I don't think his comments can be construed as being discriminative, and I don't think they fall into the Oxford Dictionary definition of the word. So I think with everything else the Metropolitan Police have got going up at the moment, their time could be far better spent stopping the stabbings, robberies and violent sex crimes being committed in London by their own staff and the wider minority communities. And that's not hateful either, because percentage-wise, the majority of these types of offences in London are committed by those who make up the minority groups. So if you found this report informative, please give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. It does really help if you share my reports too. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss updates. And we will see you in the next video.